Hello everybody, it's Alexia and I'm back today with another video, and this video is going to be different. So on Microsoft Bing there's something called Copilot, and it uses AI to answer questions, and I had an idea to ask it to explore various characters that have dealt with emotional struggles, stress, and mental health, and explore how they did that. And then 2, I asked it to share some practical tips on maintaining mental well-being based on biblical principles. So I'm going to go through that with you. I found some of this very helpful. I've been using this AI chat a lot more to get kind of quick answers that I have with the Bible. And it pulls from websites, it pulls from a bunch of different things, but it makes it easier to search, if that makes sense. You'll see when I start going through it. So I asked it to explore how various characters dealt with their emotional struggles, stress, and mental health. And it said, certainly, the Bible is rich with stories of individuals who face emotional struggles, stress, and mental health challenges. Let's delve into some of these characters and their experiences. Number 1, it has Hannah. It says, Hannah longed for a child but faced infertility and the taunts of her husband's second wife. Despite her grief, she continued seeking God, pouring out her heart in prayer. And here's the lesson in her story. In times of pain and mental distress, like Hannah, we can turn to God and persistently seek Him. So that is a great example. Number 2, it has Elijah, and it's referencing 1 Kings 19. It says, after a significant victory against prophets of Baal, I pronounced that wrong, I'm sure of it. Elijah felt exhausted and terrified. He ran for his life when threatened by Queen Jezebel. God didn't chastise him, but provided food and rest, acknowledging his emotional state. The lesson in this is sometimes rest and nourishment are essential for mental well-being. And I did make a video recently going over this and how God did not respond with anger. He responded with compassion. And I love how they laid it out here. They laid it out a lot better than I did in my video. And then we have David, of course. David, a shepherd turned king, faced anxiety, depression, and instability. He fled from King Saul, wrote psalms expressing distress, and mourned deeply. His emotional struggles were raw and honest. And the lesson in this is we can find solace in expressing our feelings to God just as David did. So I am actually reading through the Psalms right now. And the Psalms are an amazing place to go for mental health and just emotional turmoil and all of that. It's a great place to find hope in the midst of all of that. Number 4, we have Job, of course, and it's referencing the entire all the chapters of Job, because he was struggling the whole time. He wasn't struggling the whole time. At the very beginning and at the very end, he had some good times. So it says Job lost everything: wealth, family, health, and grappled with intense suffering. His friends misunderstood him and he questioned God. Despite his anguish, Job maintained faith. And the lesson in this is even in our darkest moments, faith and questioning can coexist. I like that lesson they provided for this one, because just because we are going through these hard times and we are having this anxiety, we are having this depression, faith and the questioning of that can coexist. Number 5, they have Jonah, and they reference Jonah chapter 4. It says Jonah wanted to die after God spared Nineveh. His emotional turmoil stemmed from anger and disappointment. God's compassion toward Jonah reveals understanding. And the lesson here is that God meets us in our distress even when we struggle with his plans. The sixth one is Jesus. And it's referencing Luke chapter 22, verses 41 through 44. And it says, in the garden of Gethsemane, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. Jesus faced immense emotional distress. His sweat was like blood as he grappled with the weight of his impending sacrifice. Jesus modeled vulnerability and reliance on God. And the lesson in this is even the Son of God experienced emotional struggle. We can find strength in him. So this one I really love, because if even Jesus could experience emotional struggle, I don't think we have to feel ashamed of experiencing that as well. Some people, I'm saying some because not all Christians say this, not all Christians are like this, but some people think you just aren't being faithful enough because you're experiencing anxiety, depression, emotional distress. But if even Jesus could feel this, I don't think we should be ashamed. Granted, Jesus was going through a much unique and harder time than we probably are. He still experienced that emotional struggle. And I don't think fear is a sin like some say. And this says, these biblical accounts remind us that mental health challenges are timeless, affecting people of faith and those without. We can learn from their responses and find hope in our own struggles. And it references the websites it pulled from. So you can see a few of those right there where it says learn more. And then the next question I asked it is, can you share some practical tips on maintaining mental well-being based on biblical principles? And it said, certainly, here are some practical tips for maintaining mental well-being based on biblical principles. So number one, it says prayer and meditation. Regularly spend time in prayer and meditation. Seek God's presence and pour out your heart to him. Reflect on his promises and find comfort in his word. And it references Psalm 46:10 and Philippians 4:6-7. Number two on here, it says community and fellowship. It says connect with other believers, share your struggles, joys, and burdens. Fellowship provides encouragement, accountability, and a sense of belonging. And it references Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 through 25. And that is what I'm trying to do with this channel. So I'm happy that I've already done, well, I do prayer too, so I can check off two of these things on this list. Number three, gratitude and contentment. Cultivate a heart of gratitude. Count your blessings and focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Contentment brings peace, and it references 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, and Philippians chapter 4, verses 11 through 12. And then it has number four, rest and Sabbath. Prioritize rest and observe a Sabbath day. God designed rest for our well-being. Take breaks, recharge, and trust that God sustains you. And it gives an example of Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11, and Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. And this is the thing, guys, God expected us to need rest. So we should not feel bad for doing that. Number five, it says forgiveness and letting go. Forgive others as Christ forgave you. Holding on to grudges harms mental health. Release bitterness and choose forgiveness. And it references Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 through 32, and Colossians chapter 3, 13. So forgiveness and letting go doesn't mean letting that person back in your life and letting them walk all over you again. I want to let you guys know that. Forgiveness is forgiving them and letting it go, but you don't have to have them in your life every day. You don't have to have them be your best friend, but it is important to let it go, because it harms your mental health to hold on to those grudges. Number 6, it says, guard your thoughts. Be mindful of your thought patterns. Replace negative thoughts with truth from Scripture. Focus on what is pure, lovely, and praiseworthy. And it references Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. So my therapist used to tell me to do this, and she called it thought stopping. So she would say, when you're in the middle of a negative thought, stop it. And she would give an example like, okay, you're thinking, I'm going to fail this test. Stop and replace that thought with, I'm going to do my best on this test. And regardless of what happens, I know I did my best. So those are the kind of examples she gave me. So I like this because it's giving that advice, but replacing it with truth from Scripture. So number 7, it says physical health, caring for your body impacts mental health. Exercise, eat well, and get adequate rest. Remember that your body is God's temple, and it references 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 through 20, and that is definitely an important one that I could do better on. Number 8, seek professional help. Just as physical ailments require medical attention, mental health issues deserve professional care. Don't hesitate to seek counseling or therapy, and it references Proverbs 15:22. Number 9, it says serve others. Serving others brings fulfillment. Look beyond yourself and find purpose in helping those in need, and it references Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. And then number 10, trust God's sovereignty. It says, understand that God is in control, even in difficult circumstances. Trust his plans, surrender anxiety to him. And it references Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and Psalm chapter 55, verse 22. And then it concludes saying, remember that mental well-being is a holistic journey, and seeking God's guidance is essential. If you're struggling, reach out to a pastor, counselor, or a trusted friend. You're not alone, and there is hope. And I loved this because it puts it all together in a very understanding way. And then it even has little prompts for other questions. So it says, how can I apply these principles practically? What does the Bible say about anxiety? So I think using AI in this way can be very helpful because, as you can see, it's pulling from actual websites. It's not just coming up with this, the AI is not just coming up with this on the fly without any understanding. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please give the video a like and maybe a comment. I could care less about getting a bunch of subscribers and likes so I can try to make money off of this channel. That's not at all why I'm doing this. If I ask you to like or comment, it's just because it helps me feel better going forward, and it lets me know that I helped somebody with my video. And that's really what I want to do with this channel, is just help others. And I only ask for a like and a comment because it makes me feel like I can keep going, like there's a need for this, and the videos aren't just going out into the internet and that's it. But okay, I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and God bless.